Here is what I think each Western Conference team should prioritize for the upcoming season. Even though the competition in the West is pretty tough, the Ducks should aim for the playoffs again, as they've been rebuilding and improving for years now. I think the Flames need to use this season to finish off the retool by getting assets back for Rasmus Andersson, while also letting the young talent develop more. Better that than another 17th place finish and 16th overall draft pick. Last year was an absolute disaster on all fronts for the Hawks. I think GM Kyle Davidson still needs to get Bedard more support, and then hopefully we can see him having more fun like Celebrini in San Jose. The Avalanche haven't been able to follow up after that dominant 2022 Cup run, but they would have a better chance at winning another Cup if they avoid Dallas in the playoffs. Speaking of the Stars, they're in a similar boat as the Avs. They've been to the Western Conference in the last 3 seasons, and they went to the finals in 2020, so this core really needs a cup now. The Oilers seriously need to address their goaltending issue. Doing that may help convince McDavid to sign an extension, which would then address their other issue. Ever since the Kings finished their retool in 2021, the only things we know about them is that they're a great regular season team, and they can't beat the Oilers in the first round. They're a great team on paper, so I really want to see them play a different team in the playoffs so that we can get a proper assessment. The Wild need to extend Kirill Kaprizov starting next season, as he's by far the most talented player they've had in franchise history. If not, they at least need to get significant assets back for him. In my opinion, the Predators should just see how the first quarter goes, as they do still have some good pieces on paper. If they bounce back, they can aim to make another playoff push, but if it's similar to last year, they should probably just start the rebuild. As long as the Sharks continue to see good development out of their young prospects and they get a few more wins, their season will be a success. Honestly, the Kraken are the only team in the league where I'm not even sure what they should focus on. I just think this team is so unbelievably mid, but if you have some good ideas to help them out, drop it in the comments. Last season, the Blues had the best record in the league after the Four Nations tournament and almost knocked off the Jets in the first round. It would be awesome if they could carry that same momentum into this season. I think the Mammoth have the pieces in place to finally make a realistic playoff push. If you want to include the Coyotes, this franchise hasn't made it to the playoffs in a full season since 2012, so let's see if they can finally get back there. Despite all the talk about Pettersson, there really isn't another option anymore other than helping him bounce back to his previous play around 2 to 3 seasons ago. If they can also ensure Demko is back to full health, this will not only make the team better, but may also entice Quinn Hughes to stay long term. The Knights used to be terrifying in the playoffs, but in the past 2 postseasons, they've looked much less in control. With the acquisition of Mitch Marner, I think anything less than a Stanley Cup will be disappointing. Even though Mitch has a bad playoff reputation, I think he'll do better on a team with experienced Cup winners. I apologize for being harsh, but Connor Hellebuck's playoff performance last season was unacceptable. He's undoubtedly the best regular season goalie in the league, but he becomes a ghost of himself once the playoffs roll around. They seriously need to help him with whatever's in his head before the playoffs start, because he's so much better than what we saw. If you like this topic and want a deeper look at each team, be sure to check out my recent blog post at slapshotbets.com.